Hey, if you truly love that woman, show her. Now, this message is obviously not for everybody because not everybody not everybody needs to hear it. Like, there's some fellas out there who already understand that concept because they were raised to be able to show their true emotions and not be afraid that showing their emotions would be a sign of weakness to the lady that they courting. But for me, I know I had to do a whole lot of unlearning when it comes to the affection and the love that I show for the woman that I'm with. Like growing up, I was really conditioned to have like a player's mindset. That's really all I heard from any male role model that I had coming up. Whether it was my pops, my uncles, big cousins, whatever. The music that I listened to, it was all about just having a player mindset. And the unfortunate thing about that is that wasn't true to who I was at the core. Like I remember being a young boy and like fantasizing and dreaming about finding like my dream woman and marrying her and having this family and just being happy, typical fairy tale type shit. But as time went on and I experienced rejection, I experienced disappointment, I experienced the my vulnerabilities being used against me, as being weaponized against me. And before I knew it, by the time I was in my like adolescent years, probably maybe even pre-adolescent years, I was already thinking in my mind that my only goal was to be with a woman, to let her occupy my time and for me to show off the woman that I got and nothing more. But the reality is that I developed feelings for some of these women, but I couldn't fully show it because I was afraid to show it. And being afraid to show it only hurt me in the long run because on the surface I was pretending like they were disposable and that I only needed them around for my own benefit. But deep down inside, I always wanted to build something. And then in the moments when I did have an opportunity to build something, like in the relationships that I actually was in, even in that, I couldn't fully express my true love because I was always afraid that if I did that, then it would somehow be used against me and it would be weaponized against me, and then I would end up being the one hurt in the long run. But what I learned from that is if I did that, like either way, there's a possibility of being hurt when love is involved, when another person is involved. There's always a possibility of being hurt. Because like I said previously, I ended up getting hurt in the past because I didn't fully express my love. And because of that, of course, if you don't fully express your love to the person that you are trying to convince that you love, at a certain point, they're going to feel a certain type of way because your words ain't matching your actions. And so that led to me getting hurt too. And so it's like you got to pick your poison. But I'm at the point now where I realize that I'd rather get hurt from giving my all and being true and authentic to what my heart desires versus being hurt from being deceptive or not being my full true self. Because what ends up happening with that and what I've experienced is that'll leave you with more regret than anything else because you didn't give your best. Like I'm the type of person that if I give 110% to something, even in failure, there's still a level of like there's still a level of dignity that I could walk away with after that failure occurred, because I know that I gave my absolute best, versus losing or failing when you know you didn't do your best. It's like leaving food on the table, you know what I'm saying? And that's not a good feeling, especially not at this stage in life. You know, I'm 41 years old and I'm looking back and I'm realizing all the what could have been. So that's not to say that there still ain't things that still can't be, but I would be lying if I said that I don't often reflect on the things that could have been if I would have put in a different type of effort, or if my actions would have been different. And so to any guy, especially the young men, like, I can't stress this enough, man, if you love that woman, love on her correctly. Love her, nothing but her. Not saying like nothing but her and nobody else. I mean, like, let her be, as far as who you giving that type of love to, let her be the only focus on that. Of course, still love yourself. Of course, still love your friends, your family, and all that. But you know what I mean. And because I don't want you to regret if you ever lost access to that person. I don't want you to have those regrets of, what could have been if you just would have did your best, and if you just would have put that effort in to show her that she was the one for you. Because we got to be the ones who take the lead on that, not doing it by ourselves. There's a difference between taking the lead and doing it alone. You should never be in a relationship where you're doing it alone. But I do believe that, as a man, it is on us to take the lead and to guide it where we want it to go. And then it's up to them to follow or not. And if they don't follow, then that's more information for you too. But if they do follow, then that means that the signal that you giving off is making them trust that they can follow you, and then they'll probably give you the world. And if they don't, like I said, if you want the world and you leading and you doing everything right, and she not giving you the world, then that might not be the one for you. But at least you've done everything in your power to make sure that you opened up the door for the possibilities for her to follow your lead. And everything else is, it's going, the chips fall where they supposed to. So yeah, just don't end up with the same regrets that I'm living with right now. I can still smile through it. I can still move on with my life, but it's a level of pain there that I might not have had to deal with if I would have made better decisions about how I showed up in my relationships in the past. So be like me now, don't be like I was then. Alright, these are just vibes. This is just Josh. I'll check y'all out next time. Peace.